You expect me to score 82 goals this year?
Leon Draisaitl is now the highest paid player in the NHL. Let that marinate in your brain for a second. In a league where superstars like Connor McDavid, Auston Matthews, and Nathan MacKinnon are headlining everything, it's Draisaitl who now takes the cake regarding salary. But do you think he's worth it? The Edmonton Oilers certainly do, signing him to a mind-blowing contract that solidifies his status as one of the league's best. Today, we're breaking down why Leon Draisaitl isn't just worth the money, he's redefining what it means to be a franchise player. Born in Cologne, Germany, Leon Draisaitl's definitely not your typical NHL superstar. Growing up in a country where soccer is king, his path to the NHL is nothing short of remarkable. Draisaitl's father, Peter, was a professional player himself and got Leon into the sport at a young age. By his teens, Leon was already making waves in European hockey circles for his playmaking skills, earning the nickname the German Gretzky. The Edmonton Oilers' third overall draft choice in 2014, Draisaitl shut the critics up in a hurry, who questioned whether a German-born player could play in the best league in the world. He's not only among the best today, but also an inspiration to a whole new generation of young German players looking to make it to the NHL. Let's just say Draisaitl has put Germany on the hockey map. What happens when two of the most talented players in the NHL share the same ice? Pure magic. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are hockey's answers to Shaq and Kobe, a duo so dominant they make the impossible look routine. During the past 3 seasons, they've combined for an astonishing 500-plus points, including 281 points between them this 2022-2023 season alone. This duo accounts for nearly 50% of the Edmonton Oilers' offense, making them the most productive in the NHL. Their chemistry is second to none. Draisaitl's elite vision and pinpoint passing perfectly complement McDavid's blistering speed and agility. They're like watching a quarterback and receiver orchestrate the perfect touchdown when on a power play. Opposing defenses know it's coming, but stopping it, that's another story. The bond between them doesn't stop at the ice, though. Off the ice, the two are friends, joking in interviews and jabbing at each other about their abilities. Draisaitl once questioned the precision with which McDavid handles his stick. The joke was returned from McDavid on how heavy Draisaitl's one-timer is. Draisaitl is no ordinary sidekick. In 2020, he took home the Hart Trophy, the Art Ross Trophy, and the Ted Lindsay Award, having outscored McDavid 110-100 in just 71 games. He's a superstar in his own right, and together they've driven the Oilers back to relevance in a highly competitive league. While big contracts make things difficult for Edmonton, their brilliance keeps the team in contention. Watching them's a nightly reminder of why we love hockey. These aren't just two great players, they're generational talents rewriting the record books together. The name Leon Draisaitl brings one thing to mind: production. Not good production, elite. In translation, last season had Draisaitl putting up an astonishing 128 points, which included 52 goals and 76 assists, placing him second highest in the NHL behind just his line-mate Connor McDavid. His 24 power play goals led the league, but it also showed that he had a freaky ability to perform under pressure and to take advantage of the man advantage situations. If there's a power play, Draisaitl's on the ice, and the puck ends up in the back of the net rather than not. But the brilliance of Draisaitl goes way beyond raw numbers. 6 foot 2 inches and 208 pounds, he's that rare combination of size, skill, and finesse. He's just a matchup nightmare for opponents. Use his strength to protect the puck, and his hockey intelligence to outthink defenders. Few players in the league possess his sort of playmaking ability, having the capability to thread no-look passes through a tangle of sticks and bodies with almost surgical precision. His one-timer's a weapon of mass destruction, often leaving goalies frozen and fans in absolute awe. There's Draisaitl too, commanding one of the bigger paychecks in the league. There are multifold reasons for it. Need him at center, and he's dominant in the face-off circle, winning more than 55% of his draws last season. Want him on the wing, and he's just as lethal, fitting seamlessly into whatever role the team requires. The ability to play any of these roles at a very high level is what makes him such an asset to the Oilers. Often undervalued defensively, Draisaitl's ability to backcheck and disrupt plays is integral to Edmonton's overall success. He averaged over 22 minutes of ice time per game last season, showing he has the endurance and the coach's confidence. He's always involved, killing penalties, setting up a clutch goal, or burying one himself. Comparing his worth to that of other stars from other sports better puts his worth into perspective. The Patrick Mahomes types making massive deals at the NFL's quarterback position, given the nature of that sport with the centerpiece player. Then the LeBron James, Steph Curry types leading at an astronomical clip due to simply bettering players that surround them in the NBA. Leon Draisaitl really fits that mold for the NHL. He's the type of player you build a franchise around, a player who elevates his own game and also lifts his teammates to new heights. And let's not forget the playoffs. 13 goals, 8 assists in just 12 games during the 2022-2023 postseason. Draisaitl was an absolute force of nature. He recorded the most unforgettable 4-goal game against the Vegas Golden Knights and proved he can come big when needed. Leon Draisaitl is simply worth every bit of his massive contract. Players like him just don't come around often, and the Oilers know they have something special. If you're still in doubt over his value, just watch him play, because numbers alone don't do justice to the pure brilliance of his game. Paying Draisaitl a record salary does not come without its challenges. On a tight salary cap, the Oilers have to get creative to build a competitive roster with McDavid commanding a massive contract. The critics will counter with the reality that tying that much money into 2 players puts the Oilers at a disadvantage. But let's be real. You don't let generational talents like Draisaitl walk out the door. Instead, Edmonton's betting its stars to prop up the team by surrounding them with affordable role players who can help complement their brilliance. And let's not forget the fact that Draisaitl and McDavid both being in the lineup together makes the Oilers a factor to win a hockey game against anyone on a given night, regardless of what pieces are left from the core of the team. It might not be a deep lineup in Edmonton, but there are 2 individuals who could paper over those sorts of shortcomings. Draisaitl's impact extends far beyond the rink. As the most successful German player in NHL history, he's become a national hero back home. Young hockey players in Germany now dream of following in his footsteps, and Draisaitl's success has led to increased investment in the sport across the country. He is just as revered in Edmonton. Teammates describe him as one who sets the pace both on and off the ice. Perhaps most notable, though, is his relationship with McDavid. 2 superstars who push each other and seem to genuinely respect one another. Away from the rink, Draisaitl's humble nature and strong work habits have made him a fan favorite. Even his NHL peers sing his praises. Once, David Pasternak joked, "If I had Leon's vision, I'd have at least 50 more assists by now." Coaches and analysts will mention Draisaitl time and again as one of the smartest players in the game, a guy who's always seemingly 2 steps ahead. At 28 years old, Leon Draisaitl's a lock for the Hockey Hall of Fame. What now for the best paid player in the NHL? To Leon Draisaitl, a whole lot more than just putting individual hardware on the mantle. It means bringing Lord Stanley back to Edmonton. Critics might say the Oilers rely too heavily on 2 superstars, but if there's one thing Draisaitl's shown, it's that he does perform under pressure. Whether it be setting up McDavid for a highlight reel goal or scoring one himself, Draisaitl continues to show why he's worth every penny. So, is Leon Draisaitl overpaid? Absolutely not. In a league where talent that comes anywhere near him is at a minimum, Draisaitl isn't just a want, he's a need. For the Oilers, for Germany, and for hockey fans everywhere, Leon Draisaitl is the real deal. The only question left to ponder, how much greater can he get?